had to kickstart this video off with a little car wash. We can't take the truck to the shop for exterior mods and have it looking like garbage. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today is going to be a good one. We're updating the Raptor again. I picked up a new set of wheels and tires and I couldn't be more pumped. But before we get these new ones on, let's break down my current setup. Now, I've been running the Method MR305 since I've had the truck, almost a year now. I really like the way they look. The one thing that I really liked about them was the fact that the main part of the wheel was matte black and the ring is a gloss black ring. I just think that that combination is killer, and I'm just running the factory size wheel, a 17. It's an 8.5 inch wide wheel, but I did go to a 0 offset, which kind of kicks it out like a half inch or so outside of the Raptor's fender wells. I really didn't want to go any further than that, but I think if you do go -12 on the Raptors, it does look pretty badass. And for the tires, I've been running just literally the factory KO2 tire size. It's the 315/70/17. It's the C-rated tire, so it's a 6-ply. There's a lot of hate on the KO2, and I could understand. A lot of people are like, if you off-road, the tire don't last. Well, I'm just on the street all the time. It's been holding up perfect for me. Wet grip is like, I don't hate it, I don't love it, but it's sufficient. The ride quality that you get on the KO2 with 6-ply tires, I absolutely love. So I'm gonna end up going to an E-rated tire, which is 10-ply. I hope it's not as bad as what some people make it out to be. I did, however, go to a 35/12.5, so we're gonna have, I don't know, a half inch more of tire, something like that, as long as they are true to size. Overall, I've been really happy with the way it looks, rides. I don't really have any issues. The problem is, there's a lot of people with Method wheels. There's a lot of people. I've seen a couple Raptors just locally I pull up next to, and they have literally the same wheel and tire combo as me. But the main reason that we're switching it up is because it seems like every white Raptor I see either has factory wheels or they have black wheels. And the original idea was to powder coat my new wheels, but I can't do that. But we did go with a different color. After having the Methods for a year, having them in the rain, snow, like the finish held up. I did put it in Baja mode one day down a gravel road, and I think I got one chip on my rear beadlock ring, well, fake beadlock ring. Overall, though, I really am happy with this setup, and I just kind of wanted to change it up and try a different tire out. So now you know why I'm upgrading. We're gonna head over to the boys over at Auto Addictions and get this thing dialed in.
Our bare hands, the enemies will notice our new plan, our new plan, our new plan. The enemies will notice our new plan, our new plan, our new plan. The enemies will notice.
I'm super pumped with the way this came out. The Raceline wheels are like the perfect shade of bronze in my opinion, and the Maxxis tires that we threw on them looks perfect. It's not too heavy of a tire, and it's an actual 35-inch tire. Alright, so we went with the Raceline Krank, and it's in the bronze colorway. It's got like a matte black ring, coming in at a 17/8.5 inch wheel, plus 0 on the offset. And the tire I went with is the Maxxis Razor AT. It's a 35/12.5, and I am pumped on the way this came out. A lot of R&D went into researching and making sure that I found the right wheel and tire combo I wanted. From researching, like, I beat myself up about it. I almost went with the Nitto Ridge Grappler, but I'm like, man, it's just such a popular tire. It definitely is one of my top favorites of all time, but I just wanted to be a little different than everybody else. So I ended up settling on the Maxxis Razor, and I'm not gonna lie, the sidewall kind of looks Ridge Grappler-ish. I really struggled for a little while trying to find the exact setup I want to go with this time. I wanted to try to get away from what everyone else has done, which is kind of impossible because everything these days is so popular with social media. It's like everybody's done everything. I haven't really seen many people with this wheel on a Raptor per se, and I wanted something more with like spokes like this. I didn't want them to be like too tight, and I didn't want to have like not enough, and I just think that the Raceline Krank was like the perfect in between of what I was looking for, and I wanted to keep with a black ring just so it wasn't too much bronze. And what I do like about this, it does have a little lip in there, even though it's a +0 offset. If you go a little more, like say you go -12, you're gonna get that wheel to kind of actually push in more with more of a dish. I think that looks really cool. With the +0, I'm perfectly happy with it. And on these Maxxis Razors, I am just stoked on the look of them. I like the tread pattern. It's a little tighter of a tread pattern. My KO2s were still in really good shape and they still have a lot of miles left in them. But for some reason, I'm so bored of the KO2 look. I think it's because the Raptor comes stock with them. So many other vehicles come stock with the KO2. I wanted to change it up. So I thought about it first, just sticking the KO2s on these new wheels, but I'm like, you know what? We're gonna change up the wheels and just go to an actual 35 this time. Once I knew I was gonna get rid of the KO2, the things that factored in my mind for what I wanted, the KO2 weighs at like 62, 63 pounds. So when you go to a 35 and a 10 ply, you're gonna add more weight to the truck. So I started looking at the specs of everything. Now on the interwebs, it says the Razors in a 35 only weighs 68 pounds, almost 69 pounds. And then if you go to a Nitto Ridge Grappler on a 35 10 ply, it's 75 pounds. So right there, I'm like, okay, that's an in-between. We're not all the way up to 75. Is it really gonna make that big a difference going up to a 75-pound tire? Probably not, but I like that it was under the 70-pound mark, that these are a lighter tire, and it's still a 10 ply 35. The other selling point on the Maxxis Razor was the price. Now I've got figured out the weight of them's perfect. They're a 35, they're a 10 ply, and the price. They were just over $300 per tire mounted and balanced. Keep in mind, if you get a Ridge Grappler in the 35, it's like $398 a tire. Maybe you can find a little better deal. So right there, I'm just over 300 bucks per tire on a tire that looks really good. So it pretty much checked off everything. It's lighter, cheaper, looks phenomenal. I think we've been sleeping on this tire. Now that we've shown you guys the new wheel and tire combo, let's talk about going from the old tire to the new tire. So the KO2 that I had was the factory Raptor tire. It's just a C-rated tire, which is a 6 ply. The Maxxis Razor is an E-rated tire, which is a 10 ply. The biggest thing when you change from a 6 ply to a 10 ply tire is going to be the ride quality. And there's a lot of people that talk about how they went to a 10 ply and they went back to a 6 ply KO2 because they just said the ride was just so much better. So I was a little worried at first, but I'm here to tell you that the ride is still pretty solid. Like, I'm not going to switch back to the KO2. Maybe because this is just a lighter weight 35 and a 10 ply than other tires, that kind of helps out, but I'm pretty happy with the way it rides. And since this tire size is so similar to the KO2, I'm probably not going to really lose any gas mileage. The other difference that I did notice when I first put these on is the rolling resistance just seemed a lot better with this. And I think that's just because it's a brand new tire. And the road noise. The KO2 road noise, I don't think is very loud at all. And there's a lot of people saying that the Maxxis Razor's very low road noise. I will say they probably are a little noisier than the KO2, but keep in mind, the KO2 is a super quiet tire. I've had Ridge Grapplers in the past. I've had Kenda Cleavers in the past. I would say the Cleavers were probably like one of the worst, especially the more they wore down. It just seemed the louder they got. I'll keep you guys posted on the wet traction with the Maxxis Razor tire. Let me know what you guys think on the new wheel and tire combo. Did this level up my truck or did it take it down a level? Also, head over to Raceline's website. I'll link it down below. Check out their wheels and let me know what wheel you guys would have went with. There's a couple other wheels that they have that I really like that I would possibly like to try in the future. Thanks for watching, and me and the Wrigley, hey, Wrigley, what are you looking at? We'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.